Hey, this is Jace, the Black Raven Pit and Purpose, and this week we're doing pork belly burnt ends. We're also going to be talking about the nonprofit called The Bay, which helps out local youth in our area. Let's go ahead and go to the prep. We'll get this rolling. All right, so the first step to doing this is that when you buy this, it's going to come as like a huge piece of meat. So you want to cut them into about 1.5 inch cubes, sort of like I have here. Keep in mind where the fat is, because that's important later. So next, now that we have them all chopped up and cubed up, we're gonna go ahead and just take some honey Dijon mustard. Just gonna give them a nice little coating here. Work those around a little bit. Make sure they get nice and coated. This will work as a great binder for our rub that we're using today. When you're doing this, just be sure and kind of flip them over, rotate them. You want to get as much of that honey mustard as you can all over these things. Kind of look like that by the time you're done. Next, we're going to take my Bayou Blaze rub and just kind of spread it all over. And again, mix it around. Looks like we're gonna need more. Let's just go ahead and use the whole bag. Okay, those looking pretty good and coated. So we're gonna let these sit for about a half hour while we get our smoker up and running, and then we'll be ready to throw them in. Okay, so now that we have our cubes all covered in rub and ready to go on the smoker, let's go ahead and talk about that process. So I have my smoker set at 250 degrees. Now when I put these on there, I wanna space them evenly with the fat side up. That's important just to let the fat render down and kind of make these little cubes into just soft little joyous cubes of deliciousness. But let's go ahead and go over how to do that. Alright, so they won't all be able to stay upright, but what I do is I just kind of press them down, make sure they stay, and kind of keep moving. So again, you want the fat side up. So just kind of take a look at each little cube, figure out where the fat is, just kind of put it down. You just keep doing that until you're done. Okay, now that they're on the smoker, we're gonna let them sit for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Basically gonna have to check with a probe, and once we get up to 165 internal temp, then we'll know we're ready to move on to the next step. So we'll see you then. All right, it's been about 2.5 hours. Our cubes have now hit their internal temperature of 160 to 165 degrees. Let's go ahead and take them out and move on to the next step. Okay, the next step is to add our glaze. Essentially what I have here is a 1/2 cup of my whiskey amber drip sauce and a 1/4 cup of honey. So we're gonna go ahead and pour that all over these guys. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be tossing these, so they'll end up getting fully coated by the end of it. Okay, that looks good. Next, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter that I've sliced up into just tiny little pieces like that. Just kind of place them around. Or rather, hold that thought. I'm going to do the smart thing, mix these up first. I don't want to crush these as I'm doing it, so I'm just trying to lift and turn, lift and turn. And those look pretty good. I'm going to lay these back in here so that they can all fit without having to stack on top of each other at all. We just want to be sure that everything gets a nice even coat. Okay, that's looking all right. Now we'll take our butter. Take a few slices and kind of put it randomly around. Then we're going to grab our brown sugar. Take your glove off for this, so I don't want to ruin my brown sugar. And this is going to be about 2 tablespoons as well, but me personally, I say it's one of those things you measure with your heart. Just gonna be sure and coat these guys pretty nicely. Okay, that's looking pretty good. About what we're looking for there. And then it's time to go back in the smoker. Okay, now before I threw them in, I'm gonna cover them with a tight wrap of foil here, just gonna keep all that moisture inside. We want that butter and everything to melt really well. We're gonna go ahead and throw this back in the smoker. It's gonna sit there for about 1.5 to 2 hours. We're looking for an internal temp of about 200 degrees. Let's go ahead and pop them in. Okay, we'll let those sit for a little while, and then as soon as that step gets done, we'll go ahead and move on to the last step. Okay, so after a long wait, our pork belly burnt ends are done. We are ready to pull these apart and kind of just dive right in. Let's just go ahead and pick one here. So the goal is that they'll kind of pull apart easily and almost like squish, almost pull apart like a marshmallow. Now let's just go with this one right on top. All right, we're gonna do this right on camera. So that's what we're looking at. That's a perfectly tasty piece of meat right there. Pull it apart. Oh yeah. That's awesome. That's exactly how we want them to turn out. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. Ooh, these are super hot. Oh my God. Yes, that was exactly what we wanted. These are melting in your mouth good. As soon as I bit down, it just like basically melted in my mouth. It's exactly what you want. You can see this drip that's coming off of this one here. See if we can get closer. It's exactly what we're looking for. Just right amount of caramelization. Now you want to let these sit after you pull them out of the smoker for about 15 to 20 minutes. Kind of let that final glaze kind of caramelize a little bit. Just kind of like anchor down onto the meat. Oh, totally worth the wait. Oh. These are phenomenal. They came out perfect. Oh my God. Well, I would say this was a successful smoke. Hopefully you guys have the same luck making them yourselves at home. I'm gonna have to make these more often. This is just so damn good. This might be my new favorite way. Well, rather not new favorite way, but my favorite way to make pork. You can also do it in a slice method. You usually see it in like ramen. That's another great way to do this. I might do another video on that on another day. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. Get ready for dinner. I'm excited. Don't forget to check out our nonprofit of the week, The Bay. They do a lot of good for the youth around Omaha, Nebraska. Oh man. God, this is good. I'm gonna go ahead and get going so I can dive into this. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and follow all those things on all my social medias. Subscribe, you name it, you do it. It's gonna be great. Anyway, thanks so much. We'll see you guys next time.